Ma perché non stai dando Fall Guys in Fall Guys? Ma... Ja, mas calma, fora. Cosa c'è? Valentina Rossi, contenuto del bonus. In caso di... Bella. Molto bene.
Is a game that's full of horror, and one of the things we decided to do early on was to take a scientific approach to how scary it was. So we did experiments on people and we measured their responses to the game. We've created a test area. It's as close to a home setup as we can get it. We've recruited ordinary people to play the game and we've left them to play it on their own.
You're turning the light off.
The only difference is it's rigged with cameras and microphones that relay the data through to the next room where people are watching them play. Bracelet here we use for biometric testing. It measures the player's emotional response. It's called a galvanic response sensor. It makes contact with the user's skin and it measures the electrical conductivity across their skin. It's the same principle as an old-fashioned lie detector. When you're stressed, you sweat a little, very sensitive, it picks up tiny changes if the player is feeling anxious or scared. That data's fed back to a testing team, comes through as a graph.
Oh, sorry.
Mi sta detto, io devo essere sinistro. Il def pure sto quello. Ma poi non la foto qua. Guarda, se non la foto.
There's no point testing one or two people, you have to test a lot of people.
What's your step?
When we have a scare that's consistently has a measurable emotional response, then we knew it was good. If it didn't have that, it goes back to the team for improvement. The data doesn't tell us what's wrong with the scare, it only tells us if it's working or not.
Huh? Wait, okay, so you hear right? Josh.
Here we have a chapter relatively early in the game.
Weirdly regular.
Nothing regular about it.
To create tension and anxiety in the player so they are ready to receive the scare. To give the player time to recover, to cool down, to calm down, and then start building the tension again before we do the next scare.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
What the hell?
Ooh. You just got mugged.
Yeah, it's such an adrenaline high from that game.
There's two things we found. One is we could look at the scares, analyse if our expected scares were working effectively. Were people shrieking and covering their hands, or were they getting an emotional response from it? And being scientific about it means that we strip out people's opinions about whether things are working or not. We've got data, and we look at the data. If it's working, we're happy with it.
Pretty scary.
Bit scared and wanting to get away. I actually maybe a bit scared to play on my own, but
In a room with the lights on, yeah, with some other people as well, yeah, maybe.
but because I'm a scaredy cat, I would play with someone in the room. And the lights on.
It was one of the scariest games I've played in a long while.
Hi, Larry.
Hey, Graham.
Hi, my name is Graham Resnick. I'm a filmmaker, writer, director, sound designer, and I started working with Larry Fessenden about 10, 15 years ago through my friend Ty West, who I grew up with, and have done a lot of sound design with on his films. And he was producing Ty's film.
Che?
Mio fratello deve rompere il coglione ogni volta, deve fare lui.
Ma come? Mi faccio scaricare anche da...
My name is Larry Fessenden.
cazzo
I'm a
conto, non
filmmaker.
cazzo.
I run Glass Eye Pix, which is
Tra
an
poco giochi da
independent
solo.
production company out of New York.
Lì la tuo fratello
Make indie movies,
che tiene
a lot of scary
proprio...
movies as well.
Ma vai a lavoro!
And
Lo tiene,
I
però
got a
deve
call to
rompere il
audition
coglione e andare a dormire.
to write this
Non... dice che va a trovare il lavoro insieme a Giulio, così sono più tempo
while I
insieme.
thought I could offer something to the
Giochi più tardi.
idea of writing this multi-branching story, I knew that I would want Graham's expertise as a lover of gameplay, since I guess games were started. So
and just as a lover.
And as a lover, yes. Which is why there's so many sex jokes in the game.
There was one Italian website that did say the Larry
that's
Fessenden
right.
and Graham Resnick, the two lovers behind Until Dawn.
Come here. Maybe I know how to handle you too.
I am definitely ready to be handled.
So I wanted Graham by my side. Yeah, and we got the gig, and it's been an amazing ride.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my god. She's taking her shirt off. What? Oh my god. Matt, what are you doing here?
Hannah.
I'm sorry, Hannah. This all got
Don't
out of
mind,
hand,
just
but...
So in the game, the basic setup is that a year prior to the game's start, all these kids had gone up to a ski lodge that was owned by the parents of one of the kids, or a couple of the kids, and some of the teenagers played a prank on some of the other teenagers, and the terrible tragedy occurred when a few of them, two sisters, ran out into a blizzard, and were never seen from again. So now, a year later, this is kind of torn apart, this group of friends. They've gone through some trials and tribulations in the past year. The brother of the two girls has had a lot of psychological issues, and to kind of help him cope and help them all get over it, they all returned to the lodge a year later, back up on the mountain. And the idea is to get over it, but...
the healing does not begin.
Yeah, and these kids are all trying to find themselves. They've been through a trauma, but in general, they're just teenagers trying to figure out who they are. So they're all kind of falling into the patterns, the stereotypes, the characters they see on TV and in the movies.
I think we were very interested in taking genre tropes and kind of making them sort of refresh them.
Hey, did you see that? Dad said it'd just be us this weekend.
We're familiar with how slasher movies work. Most people have seen some horror movies, and we have established notions and preconceptions about the roles of the players in horror movies and how they talk and how they get killed and how they have sex. And to bring you into the game that way and then subvert a lot of those expectations was kind of our goal.
They're haunted by some incident that happened in their past, which I think you pretty much figure out that that's going to have a role in their interaction. Yeah, so I think what was fun was we take some sort of stock characters and we try to give them some shape, but at least at the beginning they're recognizable in the way of groups of friends. There's, the jock and the bitchy girl and the rivalries between everyone. And
oh my gosh. And really fun characters too. We just had so much fun living in the minds of these characters through writing the script.
What do you think?
Jesus!
It was fun. I think we were looking to get that kind of banter that you see both in movies, but also that you absolutely have with friends, and sort of those inside jokes. And of course, as writers and as friends ourselves, we sort of developed little tracks, and we try to give the characters that kind of vibe.
Bel rumore.
All right, from the top.
My
is Jason Graves, and I'm the composer for Until Dawn. I've been involved with Until Dawn for about a year now. Originally, I was contacted by Barney Pratt, the audio director. I think that had something to do with my lineage of horror games, and hopefully not the fact that my last name is Graves, although a lot of people seem to associate my name with scary music.
Même voix, toi.